Alright guys, welcome to another beer review, and today we are actually revisiting a beer which I think I've already reviewed on the channel. Should have double checked before I started this video, but I want to revisit it anyway because it is a beer that I've had a couple of times now. And it's from one of, for me personally, the most underrated craft breweries. And they're a brewery who tried a lot of their stuff when I was in Germany, and we're getting quite a bit of their stuff here in the UK. And every beer that I've tried has been really solid, especially their unfiltered lager. Just an absolutely beautiful example of this style, sort of like a Keller beer, sort of, you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, so this one I've had in bottle form when I was living in Germany. And yes, so the brewery themselves are And Union, who I have covered a few of their beers on the channel, so I will put the playlist down below so you can check them out for yourself. And they were so kind to send me a little bit of a care package with quite a few of their beers and this absolutely gorgeous Oktoberfest glass in their sort of like unique glass shape. And yeah, it's just absolutely gorgeous with that sort of Bauhaus look to it. But yeah, I love the art direction of And Union actually. I think they do a really good job. They stand out, and especially their glassware is just absolutely gorgeous. And speaking of good design, how nice is that can? It's got that sort of like almost like cubist, brutalist etching into the glass. Almost looks like brickwork. And then you've got a really nice, simple, bold Friday IPA put on it with a lovely bold red colour, nice white top with a black ring pull. So definitely very aware of design when canning and the branding, so that appeals to me anyway. But yeah, this is the Friday IPA in a 330ml can, clocking in at 6.5%, described as a Bavarian take on the American style IPA. Not for wussies, so I don't know why I'm drinking this. And alcohol reduces driving ability. Don't drink and drive. Don't be a dumbass. So thank God that I don't drive, because that doesn't relate to me. Even though, yeah, you're pretty stupid if you do drink and drive. There have been plenty of times where I've been in the passenger seat or the back of a friend's car after a little jaunt to the pub, and it's not pretty. Especially when there's a big speed bump and you actually go in the air slightly. Yeah, that was an interesting time. But yeah, 330ml can. Best before date on this, well, produced on the 12th of June 2018 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And the best before date is the 12th of June 2019. It's now currently, they went to the first week of October. So, you know, not too old actually, to be fair. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful stuff. And I know if I was to keep hold of it and take it back to Germany with me, I get my 25 cents. So that's always good. But yeah, it's a Friday afternoon. I got the box today from And Union. So it would be rude not to open it on a Friday. So I know I keep cutting myself off camera, but there we go, it's a little bit better. Not that anyone would complain if you couldn't see me in front of camera, but anyway, let's get this beer poured and see what we get, and get my fingernail caught in the ring pull. That was interesting. Anyway, a nice generous amount in the can, so let's give it a pour. Without pouring it on the table, that would always help. So here we go. Now, even though I have had this before, I can't actually remember any specific sort of flavour profiles to it. But from what I can see, it's definitely looking like a classic West Coast style, which I think German craft brewers do that style so well. And when I was living in Germany, I mean, the craft beer scene has come a long way in such a short amount of time. But I remember when I was, you know, first getting into German craft beer, and a lot of American styles, as you would expect. And one of the most popular was the American style IPA and Pale Ale. You know, very hop forward, big bold bitterness on the back end. And I think Germany does them so well. And especially now that we're in this juice craze, I'm always appreciative of a good, bitter West Coast IPA. So I'm imagining that's what we're going to get with this one. But yeah, beer in a glass then. And it's actually a little bit hazy. Got some murk going on there. It's got that sort of like deep dark orange, but slightly rusty water look to it. But yeah, it looks very dense actually. And I tell you what, how pretty does the beer look in that glass? I know it's a bit poncy, but I just love good glassware, nice design, and well, if the beer's as good as the appearance, then we're in for a treat today. But yeah, beautiful looking beer. And the beer itself, I should say, poured with a slightly pale beige looking head, one finger's worth. But yeah, certainly looks fantastic. So let's give it a taste. So cheers to the guys at An Union for sending me a few beers, and cheers to you guys watching this beer review. Prost. It's lovely. That is one of those, like, I've needed to drink a beer like that. Do you know, one of those sorts of beers? Lovely, piney, hoppy tones. There's a big hit of resin in there. Loads of stone fruits. Big, bold grapefruit on the back end. And I've just realised I've not smelt the beer yet. I've just dived right into it. But yeah, it's sort of like a reanalysis, so I can bend the rules, I suppose. But lovely texture in this beer. And a lovely hoppy bitterness on the back end. But there's like a really nice dark rye bread character coming through, which I'd imagine is playing into that sort of Bavarian spin. Because this is one of those beers, and I will smell it in a second, don't worry. This is one of those beers that would pair so beautifully with some cured meats, rye bread, some smoked cheeses, that sort of thing. And Oktoberfest, I think, has just finished at the time of me recording this video. If you were to be served steins and masses of that, that would be just absolutely fantastic. But we'll give it a bit of a sniff, because we forgot to do that, because I was really in the mood to have a drink. It's a very musky smelling IPA. Big sort of like burnt toffee character coming through. On the nose, it actually smells like a traditional English IPA. But yeah, big spicy breadiness. There is a real breadiness in this beer. Now, I'm not too sure if they've used like Bavarian grown hops, or like a Bavarian sort of like Cascade or Citra or something like that, or if they've just used Bavarian ingredients. But it's not just your standard American style IPA. There are these little nuances and intricacies going on. It always looks like I've ripped my shirt, but no, that's actually the length of a... So it could do with another button there, but for some reason it was designed like this, so it looks like I've like ripped it or something. So it always looks a bit messy when I've not rolled the sleeves up. Apologies about that slight distraction, but yeah, there's like very subtle spicy tones. Lovely grapefruit on the back end. Completely forgot what I was just talking about before I distracted myself. But yeah, there's just these little things going on that set it apart from like a standard West Coast IPA. So it's got that sort of like very bready, slightly yeasty, like Bavarian, like Keller beer sort of vibe. Because it's unfiltered, of course. But yeah, I'm interested to see if there are any sort of like specific changes in the recipe with this beer to give that Bavarian style, or if they're just saying that because it was brewed in Bavaria, because they're brewed in Munich now, I believe. But yeah, that ABV is masked beautifully. Not that you'd expect it to be screaming from the glass or anything like that. But yeah, this to me, I mean, not gonna lie, the aroma is not as good as the taste, but it's not a bad aroma by any stretch. In fact, it's actually weird going from flavour to the aroma, because obviously when you're reviewing beers, it starts off, you look at it, you give it a sniff, you give it a taste. But actually, giving it a taste first and then giving it a bit of a sniff, the aroma has actually become a little bit underwhelming. But the flavour is absolutely lovely. I think what I like most about this beer is at such a low ABV, well, not, what am I trying to say here? I mean, is that 6.5% or is that an 8.5%? 6.5%, yeah. It's got a really bold body to it. It's got real girth and a nice malty chewiness, which I'm very appreciative of, especially in a style like this. But you do get those fruity tones in there as well. There's a little bit of a sharpness of lime, but then a big, bold flavour of grapefruit. Lovely, sticky, toffee, resiny characters. Leaves a nice lining on your palate. Yeah, I think it's a lovely little beer. And obviously, because it's been a while since I've tried it, I couldn't really remember. I remember enjoying it, but I couldn't remember anything really specific about it, because God knows how many beers I've drank since then. But yeah, revisiting this one, it's such a lovely experience. Yeah, it's got that sort of like Bavarian spiciness to it. Not like spices in heat, but it's just got a little bit of a kick. So, yeah, And Union's Friday IPA. I think I'm going to give that one an 8 out of 10. It's got this almost like big red cinnamon chewing gum flavour about it as well. But yeah, lovely little beer. Can't pick out too much wrong with it. Yeah, 8 out of 10. If you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions. It'd actually be interesting. I always say this, but I never actually revisit old reviews of what I initially thought of this IPA, which I might do. But that review will be in the description, because it's going to be part of the And Union playlist. And as I said, I've got a few more beers to try. So look out for those in the future. But yeah, lovely little beer. If you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Check out the And Union playlist. Check out And Union as well. And if they're in a supermarket near you, pick up any can that you can from them and give them a try. Highly, highly recommended. And especially since we don't get much German beer here in the UK, aside from like the bigger Pilsners, Alt beers, you know, the usual stuff. To get some nice German craft beer is always appreciative. And the fact that you can get this in most supermarkets. Not sure if Fridays is easily available in the supermarkets, but you can definitely get Steffweiss, Unfiltered Lager, and Neublack Lager, which is, they're all really, well, I haven't tried the Steffweiss yet, but the lagers that they do have been fantastic, and some of the bottled stuff that I had in Germany was nice as well, and I've got those reviewed in that playlist down below. Anyway, I think I've repeated myself about 5 different times in about 20 different ways with this review. It's always the case. So yeah, thank you for watching. Massive thank you once again to the folks over at And Union for giving me a few beers to try. It's so good revisiting a beer that I had when I was back in Germany. I know not many people can relate to that, but there's always something special about German beer. And I thank the folks over at And Union for giving me an excuse to reminisce. And I'm looking forward to drink the rest. And thank you for giving me another beautiful glass for my collection. Just absolutely gorgeous. It really, really is. And in such a weird and wonderful little shape as well. Anyway, I've taken up way too much of your time. Thank you for your patience and watching me in this review. And yeah, I look forward to hearing your thoughts, opinions. Check out Land Union. Check out my Land Union playlist. Check out my German craft beer playlist as well. And yeah, hopefully you'll join me next time for another review. Thank you guys. I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers.